Directly in the mouth?
Yes, open your mouth wide. Chew and then swallow.
This is perhaps one of the most unusual Indian desserts I've ever had. It's called a fire pan. Fire because it's set on fire. But look how it is prepared, and where? Just out in the open street. The first thing a chef needs to make fire pan is betel leaves. It's a type of pepper plant, but with a strong tonic effect that tones down the heat. It is popular throughout Asia. Then the first step is to rub palm seeds and sugar over the underside of the leaf. In some Indian dialects, this is called pan. This combination has the strongest toning down effect. Over here in Asia, betel leaves and areca seeds make up the equivalent of sugar in local cooking. 4,000 years old and a cigarette replacement. It may be harmful to one's health, but it was rooted in culture. In Vietnam, for example, betel leaves and areca are used for wedding ceremonies. The parents of the bride and groom must chew them as a sign of unity between the families. It's almost like smoking a pipe of peace. And the phrase chinchoka literally means strong love. However, the frequent consumption of these plants turns the teeth red and eventually makes them fall out. It's sort of gross. And the other side, cancer and other diseases do develop from this. India is the main consumer of betel leaf and areca in the world. The poor also eat it because it removes the feeling of hunger, which helps in tough times. The mix of areca with tobacco is something like the Indian equivalent of naswaya, smokeless product from Uzbek. But since all of this is terribly bitter, Indian chefs came up with the idea of adding sugar and spices to the leaves, and they are set on fire. It is so sweet, and with a mix of great flavors. Oh, thank you so much. The fire melted the sugar and turned it into caramel. In the summer, the leaves are quite bitter. This is a very unusual dessert, but to be honest, I don't know what I'm most afraid of. The fire that goes into your mouth, or this man's dirty hands, or something else. Well, considering right on the corner of the street are people spitting. It is also worth being afraid of the ingredient that is added to this dessert so it burns. For safety reasons, should be clove oil. But on the internet, you will find a lot of references to vendors that will substitute it with chemicals that are cheaper but toxic. This can include liquid firelighters and kindling. So only try this delicacy in a trusted place to avoid getting sick. If you don't like flames, you can try the non-flammable variation, which is called ice pan.
Lean in closer. Hold it there. Yes, taste it for a second, and then start chewing and swallowing carefully. Yes, chew, 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 and then swallow. Good, right?
My mouth. That is cold. My whole mouth is frozen. I can't think of what to say. I didn't think my mouth would freeze, certainly not in India. Wow. The ice pan fills my mouth with a soft minty sweetness. It is so cold everywhere. It's such a unique experience. All my teeth are frozen. It's sweet and it's spicy and cold. It's like a sweet bomb of ice. This ice water in my mouth, it's just so cold. My mouth is frozen, but I can still taste the sweetness, and it's juicy, really juicy. The main thing is I haven't started to feel nauseous. It's known to happen. Everything that I just ate comes to 80 rupees. That's $1. Today we'll try some of the most incredible cuisine in the entire world, Indian. Rich in spices, there's nothing else quite like it. Some of the most diverse flavors, from cloves to cardamom. Yum. That's ginger and garlic, and of course a lot of curry. Believe me, for this episode I had to pace myself and make sure I didn't eat too much. The main thing is that you don't break the bottom. The point's not only to eat, it's to survive later. Let's try a legendary dish from one of the local restaurants. Right here on Paranza Street, some of these restaurants were founded in the 19th century, like this one, that's been here since 1872. Indian street food is entirely unique. Honestly, I don't know. I don't know how my stomach is going to react to this. How do people eat Indian street food and not die? I know many of you are scared by just the thought of food made on this kind of street. I think this is a very cool replacement for pizza. Guys, the most important thing is that the food is hot, because that means it's safe. You have to think about this in India. But if you know the right places, this country will give you the full taste experience. The food here is incredibly tasty. Always prepare your stomach and your nerves. Know your own tolerance, but all of it is tasty. India is a country with incredibly cheap food, and there are a lot of reviews on the internet about what you can eat here in this country for under $1. For example, an entire bowl of pav bhaji in Mumbai is usually sold for 40 to 60 rupees. Or a pancake that is made from potatoes, aloo paratha, only costs about 10 rupees. A bottle of water in a restaurant will barely even run you anything at all. It's only 24 rupees. In India, you must understand, street food is like a religion. There is nowhere in this country where street food is not around. In the middle of traffic jams, they sell some kind of sandwiches or fried samsu. In the markets, they sell dozens of different types of snacks, potatoes and pastries, spicy curries and chapati, everything you can think of. Near every house, everywhere, there is street food all over. At first, I thought I'd try one of the most unusual restaurants in the Indian capital. Today we have come to Bangla Sahib, which is the most famous of all the Sikh temples in India, although it's probably not right to call Sikh temples temples, because they're not. They are called the Gurudwara. These are the home of gurus. This is the place I'm talking about. Before you can enter the Sikh temple, you must be sure to tie a scarf over your head to cover it. When people imagine the traditional Hindu aesthetic, what you will see in a place like this is what they might conjure up in their minds. A Sikh, an older man in a turban with a long beard and glorious mustache, although that is in fact wrong. Sikhs are not Hindu, and they don't follow the faith of Hinduism. And this aesthetic cannot actually be considered a characteristic of India, since the ethno-religious group only make up 2% of the population. Sikh generally means student, and this is not entirely ethnos or entirely religion, but its own unique phenomenon. In the 15th century, Guru Nanak tried to combine the faiths of Islam, Hinduism, and just the idea of social equality with human rights, along with the importance of self-sacrifice. As a result, a new wave appeared, which gradually formed into something like an ethno-religious community of people who follow his example. Sikhs don't and never have recognized caste systems. They considered all people equal, including men and women. Their temples, or rather gurudwaras, are open to representatives of all religions. They have no pastors, no hierarchs, and no leaders of any kind. And even the founders of Sikhism are either called teacher or guru, because Sikhs are all students who are always learning from other people, and sometimes just Baba for an old man. Despite their small population, Sikhs play an incredibly important role in the life of India. For example, even since the time of the British, they have been the backbone of the armed forces, and now almost 8% of the Indian army is made up of them. There are even more of them in command. All Sikhs carry a dagger with them. This is a necessity, and it is called a kirpan. Some also have sabers, and sometimes they use them in combat. For example, this sword fight in the same temple, which took place in the not-so-distant past, Different groups of Sikhs argued about who would conduct the meditation on that day. How much do you have to want to meditate to swing swords around for it? If you ask me, that's something to think about. The Sikhs have their own military order, and it's called Khalsa. Is it true that you will never cut your hair?
Yeah, we never cut our hair.
Never?
Never. We keep it. Whatever God has created, we try to keep it that way, yeah.
Wow. And the beard?
Yeah.
The same?
Same.
Sikhs are never allowed to remove their turban in public under any circumstance, as their hair is very long. That's why special helmets were developed for them to use when riding bicycles and in the army. However, most Sikhs refuse to wear them, even if the gear could save their lives. Sikh turbans are grand, especially those from the Khalsa military order, which weigh as much as 10 kilograms and consist of hundreds of meters of fabric with decorations. In every Sikh temple, there is a big hall called a langar, a massive common dining room with free food where everyone who wants to eat a meal is welcome. This is the largest langar in India. Several thousand people eat here every single day of the week, and on religious holidays there are tens of thousands. Imagine the staff that this involves. Sikhs are incredibly open. They let me into the kitchen to film how everything is organized here. In this kitchen and others like it, men and women work together and almost all of them are volunteers.
The work people do here is all for free.
For free?
Only for free. Want some curry? It's all in here.
They make flatbreads and cut vegetables by hand. However, that is only a tiny part, and done to support the traditions of volunteer work. It'll be unrealistic to feed thousands of people daily using only volunteers who are all working by hand. Most of the work in this kitchen is done by equipment. It is just incredible in here. In fact, this is a massive food factory, really. Preparing free food for everyone who comes up to this place. You won't find this setup anywhere else. All the dishes here are vegetarian. Stewed vegetables and beans with spices and bread. Where can I sit? Here. When you come in, they give you a tray and you sit on the floor. And various Indian dishes are poured into the tray. Do you like this? Is the food good?
Yeah.
Why? What do you like about it?
Yeah, it's delicious.
I'm just very hungry.
It's part of my culture. That's why I'm here.
Just to visit this place.
Is the food good?
Yeah.
I've watched how people eat here. You mix the rice, and then you dip it in the sauce. Yes. Can I have curry?
Yes, you can have curry.
Oh, cool. Yeah, thank you. Cool. And here, you eat with your hands. It's delicious. This is really good. It is warm and tasty. I'm the only one who picks up the tray. I see everyone's eating right from down here. I think because I'm a foreigner, I'm being watched while I eat. Hi, guys. I think I know why they're staring. It's because I'm eating with one hand and my other is holding the camera.
Take this.
Ah, they gave me a spoon. That is so kind. Thank you. Of course, the main question is just how safe it is in a place like this. But what I saw with my own eyes did not scare me at all. The people here were nice. I think this is the best place to wash dishes in India because first, several people do it by hand, and then the dishes are loaded into this special machine here. They go in here and come out the other side clean. The cooks here look, well, let's just say, much neater than the average middle-class person here does. That's because Sikhism pays great attention to good cleanliness. You can enter the temple territory only barefoot after having washed your feet in a special pond. Since Sikhs don't recognize rituals and consider meditation to be the most important part of the practice, people often come to the temples just to sit and look at the calming, still water, or to sit in the shade of these beautiful arches, or to sleep, just like this, here, on the clean marble. You can't imagine how the temple's silence and peaceful tranquility contrasts with the seething and buzzing city outside of it just as soon as you step out of the doors. Just try to imagine, every day, hundreds, probably even thousands of people pass through this hall, and everyone here is fed for free. Yes, maybe not super varied, but it is tasty. But I want to tell you that in any Indian restaurant, this is a classic set of dishes right here. This is a completely good, normal, and tasty Indian lunch. This is not some kind of shortened program. Hearty, and it's free. And no one has ever been poisoned here. That is the most amazing thing. Imagine such a number of people coming through such a place, and then at the same time, it is clean and completely safe.
Have some of this.
Thanks. Literally from the oven.
Fresh and hot. Is it good?
That is amazing. Pita. Here, this is called a roti.
No? Prchada? Prchada?
What? Not a roti?
No, it's prchada?
Let me try it. Palchala.
That's
Palchala.
not roti.
It's not roti. Did you hear it? Prchada. Honestly, learning to distinguish the names of the varieties of Indian bread is not that easy. There are three main types of Indian bread. They're roti, naan, and paratha. Roti is the simplest flatbread made from whole grain flour, and in India it is called atta and water, absolutely unleavened, and you will find it all over the place in India. They're usually fried in a big pan or in a tandoor. Paratha, or the paranta, is the same roti, but made like puff pastry with melted butter. So, it's more fatty and nutritious. There is also paranta with a filling. In Delhi, there is a place called Paranta Street. This is the street of Paranta. Paranta is an Indian flatbread, into which they put some cheese and various spices and other ingredients. Here on Paranta Street, some restaurants were founded back in the 19th century. This one here, for example, was founded in 1872. But I will tell you, Paranta in India is the most expensive and tasteless, in my opinion. It is hot. Look inside, there is cheese and some paneer. And there are various spices mixed in.
Don't you want to try some of these sweets?
First, I'll try it by itself. Let's try it out. It has a crispy crust. There is melted cheese filling inside of it. Naan, unlike the previous two flatbreads, is made from a yeast dough and refined fine white flour. Naan is fried in oil in very thin sheets that is sprinkled with spices, cheese, and garlic, or it's soaked in butter and flavored oils. Just look at this guy. Look at how fast he makes these flatbreads. It's incredible. That is a professional at work. He works like some kind of machine, moving quickly so he doesn't burn himself. And they're so thin. Look, they're thinner than a sheet. Look at them. They're even thinner than a piece of tissue. In this light, you can see right through them. That is how thin they are. May I try one?
What's that?
May I please try one?
Give him one.
Look at this. Check out this level of skill. You can see the light through it. Turn the camera this way. You can see the sky through it. It's so thin, it's transparent. That is just how thin it is. It's hot. I'll try it. Now that's a tasty flatbread. It's a little bit salty and spicy. But that is not all. In India, pancakes are popular. Only here they are called dosa. And there are also flatbreads that are made from beans that are reminiscent of pizza. What is it called in India?
Munkadal paneer.
Munkadal paneer.
Yeah, that's right.
Munkadal paneer.
Paneer, that's good.
I did good? I still can't pronounce it properly, but in common terms, this is Indian pizza. May I have one? The flatbread is made from dal, which is a thick Indian pea soup with lots of flavor and spices. It's so fascinating to me because if you fry it, you get bean bread. It is so strong and fried, almost crispy on the outside, but it's really, really soft on the inside. This is flatbread. I'm going to try it with the sauce. This is definitely a cool replacement for pizza, you know? Guys, the most important thing is that the food is hot, because that means it is safe to eat. You have to think about this in India, because the point is not only to eat, it's to survive later. A few words about India being anti-sanitary. It is, of course, a known issue to the whole world.
Hi.
This is because of videos like this. A guy quietly pees into a ladle right behind the counter, then adds water to dilute it, and then pours it all out nearby as if nothing happened. The men who pack the crackers put their feet on them and then afterwards will lick them. It's not only street food that can be unsafe to eat here. Recently, it turned out that even the food on Indian trains, which is cooked in professional kitchens and whose chefs should follow safety, turned out to not be safe for human consumption in any way, shape, or form. The food was found to be dirty and rotten, and this is the data from the Indian government itself. Numerous guides recommend not only that you don't drink water from any tap in India at all, but they also say to avoid drinking tea on the street as it could be made with dirty water. Do not eat any street food, especially if it hasn't been cooked. Do not buy cheese or fruits on the street. It is dodgy. For example, these pineapples are sprinkled with unknown water from a dirty container. It really doesn't look like the safest thing to eat. Most of the chefs who make street food are residents of the Indian slums, and this is how they prepare their food. Also, there is no running water, so they wash vegetables in puddles. However, some of the scary videos on the internet are a gross exaggeration. For example, this video that went viral a while back of a guy making flatbreads by first flattening them under his arm and then frying them in old, dirty oil. It is actually a clip taken from a parody film. Indian street food is about as dangerous as any other. Only eat food that is hot, preferably cooked in front of you, and just be careful of the food you choose to consume. Although I will say, I have never been poisoned by Indian street food. Although I have not eaten anywhere, perhaps I was lucky. And I'll tell you for sure, I miss Indian cuisine so much, like a lot. It is the most delicious food I know. The city of Haridwar is known for the fact that there is a full list of all the different types of Indian subgroups who live in India. This is because every time coming to this city to pray, or when people come here to throw the ashes of a relative into the Ganges, it is a whole ordeal. The residents of the country, namely Indians, are obliged to come and register and inform authorities of all the changes that have occurred in their family while they are not in the city. Therefore, huge books are kept here for centuries, recording a complete history. One might say it's a historical census of the Indian population. Haridwar is a city in the north of India in the highlands of the holy river Ganges. This is an incredible ancient archive, and it's stored behind this modest-looking door. Right in front of our eyes, this family records the continuation of their ancestry, and they pay a special fee for it. In their huge family book, look, there are completely old, shabby-looking pages right next to fresh, stark white ones. It's quite impressive. The information is written neatly on the pages and carefully stored. These books are only kept for Hinduists, that is to say, only those Indians who profess and practice Hinduism. Just think, what if you read about every person in your family, going back to your great-great-great-great-grandfather and great-grandmother, to learn all about your family and all of your family tree? For the Hinduists, though, this story is alive, and through the intertwining of family ties, they perceive not as an abstract concept, but they find a special link reading about their ancestors. These genealogical books can only be read by the special Brahmins of Haridwar. They are called pandas. See these ones are brand new books. Amazing, look how massive they are. How many years it takes to fill up a whole book?
250 to 300 years.
So, the whole family tree for 3 years,
No,
everything is
exactly
written, who's
yes,
born,
I'm telling
who
you.
died, where they died, everything.
250.
And these are older?
That's right.
And these are the much older books. Old, ancient books. Look, may I ask you to hold this? Can you hold the camera to help me? Please help me. Hold it for me. Is it okay if I hold it? Don't worry, I won't hold it for too long. I just want to see how much it weighs. Oh, the book is so much heavier than it looks. Can you move a little bit back for me?
Heavy?
Yeah, it really is heavy. Would you look at that? Information for 253 years. This building contains only a part of the archive. Different families of Brahmin or Pandas store information about many different books in Hindu settlements around the country. In their books, people don't only write down relatives, but also friends and acquaintances, or just pleasant fellow travelers that they meet. It turns out to be even more than just a genealogical family tree. It is a massive family diary. One of the visitors decided to write me down in his book. It felt good.
Stas.
Stas.
Just Stas?
Stas. I gave them my name, place of residence, and a few words about myself. I was also recorded in this book, so I need to sign it. Here? Yes?
Yes.
Now they know that I'm alive and I'm healthy and that I actually exist. And the main thing now is that it will be stored here for centuries. This is an extremely old book. Unfortunately, I cannot open it. You can only look at your own records or the records of your family, but you cannot look at the records of other people. That is not allowed. This book has records going back about 200 years. 200 whole years. Just imagine 200 years. Now any family can come here and look at their family tree. I mean, family trees in here are going back 200, 300 years, even 500 years ago. It's incredible. This archive has been here over 1,000 years. But it's true that the preservation of the record is not guaranteed. And do you have books? Do you have any books that are 1,000 years old?
No, we don't. They haven't survived.
Since 2016, all the records within Haridwar began to be transferred into a national database. It'll probably take more than a decade, but it will allow India to make a complete genealogical tree of all the Hindus, both their families and their histories. The name of this city translates to the Gate of God, and a lot of Indians come here to throw the ashes of their deceased and already cremated relatives into the water of this river. Then it turns out that all these people are trying to find out whether there was any gold jewelry or something in these ashes. That is to say, maybe rings, earrings, or bangles were thrown in there too. In addition, look at all of the statues down here. In fact, there are also gods that are buried in the Ganges. But how? Well, when a statue in the temple breaks, some cracks appear on it or something else like that. Then this deity is considered as if dead, but since it can't be burned instead, it must be burned in the Ganges. Moreover, all of this happens continuously. Here is a person pouring ashes into the river, and right next to him downstream is another man who is looking for something valuable. And no one is embarrassed to do it either. Look what they use in India as disposable dishes. Everyone should do this. They're just leaves that are fastened together with toothpicks. Quite eco-friendly. In these leaves, you can put a lot of things. For example, a piece of ginger or some rice with sauce. Just watch this. In goes some good food, a little sauces, and it's ready. Oh, and as disposable glasses, they use tiny clay pots that can disintegrate. You drink from it and you can break it right away.
Sir, your drink?
Here's some whipped cream in them with sugar and ice. Thank you. It is sweet. It tastes just like kefir. I used to have this in school. It tastes exactly the same. Nostalgic. My parents gave me kefir with sugar in it instead of ice cream. Oh, very, very, very sweet that. To be honest, it is just too sweet for me. This is what an old-school Indian blender looks like. This is what they use to whip cream together with sugar and ice to make this cold drink that you see here. And they top it off with some syrup. I'm warning you, do not try drink this if you are not sure about the cellar or your stomach is sensitive. But most important is that you throw this glass away as soon as you are done with it. These are disposable dishes. This dish is called golgappa, a very popular snack in India. In fact, this is a fried piece of bread with broth inside. It's both sweet and spicy. For 20 rupees, you can get 5 of these. You need to eat them really quickly. The outside is quite crispy, and they are Spicy and sweet at the same time. This dessert is so spicy and sweet. So good. Yeah. And this one is called Pani Puri. This dish is the most popular dessert for just about every Indian food challenge you will see. It's actually to see who will eat the most fastest. I've already had 3.
For sale!
The 5th and final one. This is some marathon challenge, just for eating.
Like it?
It must be said they're really tasty. They're refreshing.
I'm glad you're enjoying it. It's really good.
A little sweet. They mostly spicy. At the end of the drop of sourness. The cook also needs to act rather quickly. In order to make the finished ball, he usually pierces a hole with his fingers. He'll add the potatoes with spices and dips it in the sauce. That dough is so thin that while you take it, it literally spreads everywhere on the plate. The main thing is that you don't break the bottom. But we'll see about that later.
Who knew I would make it this far? They hated, they never believed me. Yeah, I would never drop the ball. I know I make it look easy.
Their sauces can usually be hot and sweet, and challenges often include alcohol, which is interesting because it's not exactly easy to get it in India. I mean, here is what a typical liquor store in India looks like. All the people in here are always trying to give the vendor money so that he will give them at least something. It is very intense. It's honestly just a complete shit show. People are trying to get through. They're waving money to get a bottle of alcohol. The only other time I've seen this was in Cuba. When they throw out things that aren't in the stores. It's like there's some kind of shortage. It's funny and crazy. Something similar happened during the Prohibition in the USSR.
It is clear that the coveted drink went to the one who was most brazen and who had the strongest muscles.
The only state in India where alcohol is sold everywhere is in the state of Goa, but Goa does not look like the rest of India at all. India is a country of vegetarians. More than 500 million of its inhabitants try to not eat meat in their daily diet. They consume only 10% of beef. However, 10% of the population of India is a combination of France, Great Britain, and Germany. I talked about civil conflicts over beef and cow production and went in depth on the patrols that harshly beat up and even kill both farmers and steak lovers in the episode that I did about Mumbai. Meat in India causes many religious and political disputes between its people. And to not get caught up in the mess, the local McDonald's decided to become vegetarian. Moreover, some restaurants in the chain don't sell any products with meat in them at all, not even burgers. Look guys, it's a McDonald's. In India, it is probably the most unusual of all McDonald's in the world. You will not find beef here. There are only 2 burgers, which are chicken and cheese, and burgers that are completely vegetarian. There's no milk either. Well, let's start with this. Which one is this now? A wonderful chicken burger, and was also really cheap. So, what do we have inside? My word, that is a huge amount of salad. I don't think I've ever had a burger with this much salad in it. And the sauce, it seems like mayonnaise. Yes, this is mayonnaise. Cheese and a nice chicken cutlet. I must say, this is a thick burger. That's quite good. It has that good familiar McDonald's taste to me. This one's interesting. Just look at the name. It's a McSpicy. In here should be spicy paneer. That's a type of Indian cheese, extremely popular here. Shall we take a look at what's inside? The salad is much less in this one compared to the veggie. This really is a cheeseburger. There's some kind of cheese sauce. Look how boldly and generously it's smeared all over the burger. In some countries, you only get 2 drops of sauce, and that's it. In some countries, there is a lot of cheese. Look at this. There's a whole piece of cheese inside, and it's a decently thick piece. How do I show you this? Can you see it? You see that? Inside it is white, and outside it's fried and crispy. looks unreal and appetizing. It's a piece of cheese with such a cool fried crust. Let's try it. The cheese is very fresh, almost tasteless, but it's very tender, and the crust is really crispy on the outside. You can really feel it. It's crunchy with a hot sauce. It's a good burger. It's different. It's a real cheeseburger, a cheeseburger that has no meat inside. It's only cheese. It's cool. The only main thing I can say, it's unusual for sure. I would like to see such a cheeseburger in other McDonald's for sure. I think many people will like it. Now let's try the completely vegetarian, no cheese, no meat, everything plant-based. To be honest, I'm most interested in what the cutlet is made out of. Well, it's clear that it's not made of meat. Once again, they certainly did not skimp out on the sauce. They literally doused it generously with sauce, which is excellent to me. It's a Thousand Island sauce. Now that's good chemistry from McDonald's, yes! And the cutlet? I wonder what it's made of. Oh, there's something green. That's interesting. Guys, the whole thing is green. Oh, those are peas. Look, guys, it's green peas. Whole peas, they're not even ground, look. Can you believe it? Oh, my goodness. Oh, goodness. Haha. Guys, look, I found some peas in McDonald's and it was right in the middle of my burger. In any other country in the world, something like this would make me sick. Look, the green cutlet. It's so green, the cutlet is green on the inside. Have you ever seen anything like this? Oh. I'm going to take a bite of the whole thing. This is just bread with some green pea puree. Pea and carrot puree, probably. And mayonnaise. It's impossible to eat. This is utter garbage. It really is. What are you doing? This is not McDonald's. This is bread with peas. Are you crazy? I'm sorry, but this is not McDonald's here. In the Indian McDonald's, chefs cooking the meat, I mean the chicken cutlets, completely separate from everything else. Since its opening in 1979, this restaurant has been considered a place where people can go for gatherings, a place to go with families, and a good place to eat. And look, there's even a polite security guard who opens the door when you come in. You know, it used to be the same in Russia. Well, back when McDonald's was still in Russia. This is what a McDonald's in India calls a pizza. Oh yes, guys, this is a pizza, officially. In India, this is what a pizza looks like. Well, according to McDonald's. Does it look like pizza at all? Do you think it looks like a pizza or does it look like a pie? Why was it called pizza? I ordered pizza at McDonald's because I thought they would bring, well, pizza. I've never seen pizza at McDonald's, but this is not pizza. This is just a pie. Even the filling inside looks more like the filling of a pie, rather than the fried top of a pizza. Inside there is some beans, tomatoes, and peas. I don't think there's any cheese because nothing is stretching. Why this is called a pizza is a mystery to me. Well, tastes like pie. A pie with vegetables. It's not even crispy, it's kind of soggy. Chaat is one of the most popular dishes in Delhi. It is pretty much fried potato. In Russia, it is usually called potato in the villages. Only here, it is made with a lot of spices. Very, very different. To try out chaat, I came to Dalchand Kashyap, who is known as the Potato King of Delhi. They even shot an episode about him in the series about the best potato in the world on Netflix.
I love cooking potatoes. Ever since I was young. Try one.
It was Dalchand, through his appearance on television, who did a lot to make Indians look at Indian street food in a different way. In case you hadn't noticed, his chefs are even wearing gloves. He cooks only 2 types of potato dishes here at his street stall. Aloo chaat, which is potato slices that are first boiled and then fried up in spiced oil, and aloo tikki. Mashed up and boiled potato is mixed with flour and filling, then pressed into a disc shape that are fried until nice and crispy. And on top of this, they're served with several sauces and some fresh veggies and spices on top, and it's ready.
Thank you.
Can I have some of this? What's it called?
Chaat.
The secret of the taste of chaat is right here. This sauce in the saucepan. There is a sauce in India that is commonly called chanti, but its contents can be very different between different vendors. It can be salty or sweet or spicy, but most often it is all of these together, and in some proportion that is the secret of the chef.
This place right here is very famous, and it's all because they have the most delicious, and I do mean delicious, fried potatoes and mashed potato with all these different spices. And it's topped with tomato chutney and also with mint chutney.
His, chutney is it is amazing. We buy chutney for my mother, who is 86 years old. She loves his chutney.
Chutney or chutney? It is just a sauce,
You
right?
call it
Yes,
sauce.
you can say that.
We call it chutney.
Oh,
My mother, she always takes it from here and brings it back home, and she eats her morning breakfast with this chutney, with this sauce.
what is inside this sauce?
This is, tamarind? Yes, tamarind. In it is lots of spices, palm sugar. It's a combination of ingredients which are very unique to him, and only he knows what the recipe is, and he won't give it to us.
Look at this. Dalchand himself picks out the best pieces of fried potato for each of his clients, and then he reaches into his secret recipe and sprinkles
Not
them
spicy.
with spices. Spicy. He puts the sauce on top, and then some lemon too. He didn't like that lemon pulp that fell in the dish. He removed it with his hands and then mixed it thoroughly. All this on top is a little decoration of fresh radish and beets.
Hello.
Would you please stop the video and comment? How do you feel seeing food that looks like this? Is this something you would eat? Appetite or fear for your stomach afterwards? So guys, right here we have some classic street food. Chaat, and there's aloo tikki, which is also potatoes, but they're mixed with flour and they're fried in the form of cutlets and then mashed into tiny pieces, generously doused with various sauces and sprinkled on top. You see some vegetables. Well, and that's how it's served. Let's start with the chaat. The potato slices are crispy on the outside and soft on the inside. Oh, it's quite spicy. And it's sour. With a very rich taste of spices. You know, the taste of potatoes is amazing. Much more sour than ordinary potatoes, which I'm used to, if I'm being honest. I love fried potatoes and have them all the time. But this is a different taste, and they're much more crispy. They're hard on the outside. It doesn't feel like potatoes. It feels like it's, like dough and not potatoes, but it's still soft on the inside. Such an effect is due to the fact that the potatoes are boiled preemptively and then fried in the hottest oil possible. This is a very unusual way of eating potato. Fried potatoes, but with such a taste, as if, I can't tell you, you've never tasted anything like it. This is a very cool snack. But so spicy that I want to drink something. These are incredible potato pancakes. At home they're called draniki. Those of you who like draniki, put a like below. I love draniki, to be honest. It is the best. Grated potatoes that are then fried in hot oil. What could be better? But this potato, you can see, it has the crispiest crust I have ever seen. I'm sure it shouldn't be so hard, so I'll try it separately. It wasn't too difficult to break apart. The potatoes have been fried to absolute perfection. These are extremely well-made draniki. Well, the Indian version.
Sometimes it's called rosti.
It's a little less spicy than chaat. something just spoke over there. Well, that was creepy. So less spicy than chaat. With a sweet-ish kind of sauce. You know what? It reminds me of a mild dessert. A dessert that is very spicy. Inside the tikka, they put pressed beans that are mixed with pepper. By the way, it's just amazing, but it seems like there's no curry in here at all. This is the first dish I've eaten in India that doesn't have even a hint of curry flavor. It is juicy, delicious, crispy. It's cool. It's cool. A very unusual driniki, the most unusual driniki of my whole life. Although the stall looks unkempt and unsightly like others around it, Delhi residents who know about it travel to the other end of the city just to buy these potatoes.
Thank you.
Why do you like it? I mean, why specifically come here for these potatoes?
It's just better. And it's spicy. And it's just delicious. It's special.
But it doesn't have curry. I thought everything in India is cooked with curry, but there's no curry in this.
Yes, there's no curry here, but sometimes there's delicious food without curry.
So friends, after all that, what do you think about Indian street food? I could talk about it endlessly, but that's for another episode. A separate episode could be made about the different types of Indian masala tea. That is what I drank the entire time that I was on this trip. Get this, masala tea is different everywhere in India. But I want to tell you that Dharavi has probably one of the best and most delicious masala teas in all of India.
Masala tea?
Yeah.
Dharavi? Yeah.
What do you think your favorite Indian street food is? And are you still afraid of trying Indian street food? Write your comments below. As always, I try to answer any questions personally. Please don't forget to like and subscribe because together we are now moving on. Let's go further.